We're almost a month into the Red Devils spring sports season, and two teams are already on a winning streak. Can they continue? And who are they? We'll see more later in sports. Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Tad Stefanak, BNEWS reporters John Vias and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, Gretchen Carey with Community Calendar, and Anthony Matos with sports. Thank you for joining us. Boston Marathon brings runners from all around the world for the 26.2-mile trek from Hopkinton to Boylston Street. Burlington High School alumnus Paul Hogan was among the runners and came in 25th place overall and the 12th American. Quite an accomplishment for that Burlingtonian, or is it Burlingtonite? BNews sports reporter Robert Paris met with Hogan at the varsity field track.
2014 Burlington High graduate Paul Hogan has just competed in his second Boston Marathon, where he came in 25th place at a time of 2 hours, 15 minutes and 8 seconds. Preparing for this big event is no easy task, as Paul and a number of other runners prep during the winter months southwest.
Yeah, I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico for about a month and 3/4 in February, March. We trained there as a team, and we got the red blood cell production from the altitude there. Came down here at sea level for 18 days and ran the Boston Marathon. And yeah, that was kind of the idea, to kind of go to altitude in the mountains and make it harder for ourselves, and then come down here and, you know, run the Boston Marathon at sea level, feeling a little bit more easier. There was a lot of preparation going into it, years of training, honestly.
Hogan finished 12th fastest American in the marathon.
I don't think I hit my goal, but I'm pretty pleased with the result, as I had a personal record. So it was my second marathon and second Boston Marathon. I'm still learning the marathon, so I just have to know how to kind of execute it a little better. I think I may have went out a little bit too fast in the beginning, and that might have kind of hurt me a little bit at the later stages, although I kind of held up and stayed mentally tough and just focused on the people in front of me and just kept just moving along. And I'm very appreciative of the crowd that was there, so that helped me also. That's a big benefit.
Paul's first attempt at the marathon was in October 2021.
I ran Boston in October, and that was a really awesome experience, so I wanted to do it again. You know, they really take good care of their athletes, and I really enjoyed it. 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 51 seconds. So this year was a little faster. I ran like 43 seconds faster. So yeah, I'm always pleased with improvement, so I'll take it whenever I can. So
at the beginning of his high school career, Paul was a distant runner for the Burlington Red Devils.
I ran the mile, 2 mile in high school. Sometimes I ran like the 1,000 meters, but I was usually more of a long distance guy. So I knew I liked the long distances, and you know, I didn't know that I was going to translate to a marathon, to be honest. But you know, I think, you know, over the years also I went to UMass Lowell. I think that also kind of struck my mind that maybe I am more of a marathoner and long distance guy. When you start doing more mileage and more training, you start to learn about yourself and what you could potentially do in the future. So
his running days are far from over, as Paul is looking to get back to the marathon in 2023.
And I definitely want to do one next year. You know, like I want to definitely try to improve my time, improve my placement in the race. You know, Boston's a great city to run, and I really enjoy the crowd, so that always brings me back, and seeing all my family and friends there. So yeah, I just want to try to improve.
From the varsity field track, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
Congratulations, Paul. 2 hours and 15 minutes is quite an accomplishment. I don't think I've run 26 miles in the last 5 years. If that story on Paul Hogan inspires you to get in better shape, group workouts are a great way to lose weight, gain strength, work with professionals, and make some friends while you're at it. Here's the latest edition of our BNEWS Health and Fitness segment with more.
When you're in a group setting, you have that instructor who's not only holding you accountable, but everyone else in the room, so you're working out with them. I also feel that people push themselves more because they're seeing everyone else around them working hard. So it benefits you not only with the accountability, but you get more out of that time by working with a group.
The best benefit I hear about is just the community that's brought together. You might have never met some of the friends you make if it weren't for the fitness classes they come to take. And with the instructors, they see the same members over and over again, so they create really lasting relationships.
Push 5 each side.
So you're all coming here, you probably all have a similar goal, whether it's to tone up or lose weight or just overall just feel good about yourself. So you're showing up at a place where you can relate to each other.
So our signature group training classes are really group fitness meeting individualized personal training. So you're a smaller group, you're gonna get the benefits of weight management, increased mood, better sleep, a boost of energy. So there's a million reasons to try these classes.
Something else I love about group workouts is you have somebody to watch over your form. Personal training can become expensive. When you're doing something with a group, it's less expensive, but you also still have that personal training. So I can go and correct your form and help you out so you're getting more of a benefit.
Well, this group, it's a smaller group, so it's community driven. The coaches are knowledgeable and certified, and you have elevated technology. On our screens up here, we have LT Connect, which will pair and show your heart rate. And then also our treadmills, we don't offer those in our large group training classes, so you can use those in here.
So it's a great way for you to going back to that accountability, but also working towards your goals and building up instead of just sort of staying stagnant and using the same weights or doing the same workout.
So our GTX format is a 50-50 blend of strength and cardio that offers a total body workout. So our Alpha class is an Olympic-style lifting and conditioning class where your progress is tracked through technical movements and you're encouraged by a certified coach the entire time. Ultrafit is our strength, stability, and sprint interval training workout that was designed with a competitive athlete in mind.
We're now offering a run club, which will meet once a week on Sunday mornings. And the goal is to build up distance every week. It will be just a small amount of distance, but over the 6 weeks, you'll build your endurance and your overall distance with running. And you'll be working as a group. So again, yes, it will be social, but it will also be getting that working at the same time.
So if anyone is looking to try out some of these signature group classes or just see our space, we have a one-day membership, which gives you all access pass to everything here. So all of the amenities, all of our large groups, so studio, cycle, yoga classes, as well as our signature group training classes. You can come on in and try all those out.
Something that I love about the rec department, we have a variety of classes. So maybe on Mondays, you're looking for something more high intensity, right? You come off the weekend, you have all this energy. All right, cool, I'm gonna take a boot camp class, or I'm gonna take a muscle class. And then Tuesday, you're feeling tight, maybe I'll go and take Karen's yoga class. There's so many varieties. You're looking to step up your dance. We're bringing on a hip hop class for adults, which this is the first time I've announced it, but we're having beyond Zumba, we're gonna have hip hop classes and cardio dance. So much variety that work well and they complement each other. So whether your goal is to tone up or lose weight or have fun, you can find all that right here at the rec department.
Chief Thomas Brown reported that Burlington Police responded to a crash into a school building on Friday, April 22nd at approximately 9 a.m. Burlington Police and Fire Departments responded to a report of a vehicle that had struck a building at the Primrose School in Burlington. There were no reported injuries. An on-scene investigation determined that a parent who was dropping off a child at the school mistakenly struck a curb with their vehicle and then struck the side of the building. A building inspector was called to the scene and determined there was no serious structural damage to the building and no need to evacuate. The driver involved is not being charged. With the election of now Select Board member Mike Espeo, the Planning Board has an open seat and is seeking residents who wish to serve their community as an interim Planning Board member. The appointment will serve until the town's election in 2023. The work of the Planning Board involves technical and legal processes to guide the use of land and design for the town. The Planning Board reviews zoning amendments as well as site plans, special permits, and subdivisions. There are also a number of large, long-range planning initiatives that the department and board are involved in. If you wish to be considered for this position, visit the Town of Burlington website and navigate to the Planning Department. The Burlington Mall is currently, Burlington Mall will be next. Amid reports by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, State Senator Cindy Friedman joined her colleagues in the Massachusetts Senate recently to pass an act driving climate policy forward, or the DRIVE Act. The bill addresses climate change in three primary areas: clean energy, transportation, and buildings, with the ambitious goal of the Commonwealth reaching net zero emissions by 2050. Aspects of the bill will need to be worked out before it advances to the governor's desk. For more, you can visit the senator's website at cindyfriedman.org. Okay, now we'll do the Burlington Mall. And the Burlington Mall is currently exhibiting a public art and writing project on mental health called I Am More by portrait artist Amy Kerr. Kerr has been working on the project since 2017 as a way to deal with her own depression. The exhibit is meant to remind us that we are more than our mental illness, health diagnosis, physical disability, or life situation. Kerr uses painting and drawing to create the individual portraits of people of all different ages and backgrounds. Her efforts have inspired a partnership with the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which has nationwide mental health resources. Burlington Mall Marketing Director Sheila Hennessy shared that an inspiration for displaying Kerr's work at the mall is one of the exhibit's subjects. Erin Davis. Davis is a 20-year employee of the Burlington Mall's parent company, Simon Property, and is coping with alopecia. I Am More will be on display at the Burlington Mall lower level Apple Court until Sunday, May 8th. The devastating war in Ukraine has driven hundreds of thousands, if not millions, from their homes and into survival mode, having lost everything. Burlington's Demore Law recently took the initiative to help the Ukrainians in their dire situation. Through a social media post, Demore Law found out that Burlington High School National Honor Society was running a general supply drive for Ukrainian and Syrian refugees and reached out. Nicole Dupuis, Director of Business Management at Demore Law, contacted New Day, an organization that focuses on women and children who feel the brunt of humanitarian conflict. New Day makes sure women and children are the first to receive aid. Demore Law put out a lot of work into collecting and organizing various donated items. You can see some of the efforts in a photo gallery available at bcattv.org/bnews. Research is a critical component to patient care and future advances in medicine at Lahey Hospital and Medical Center. Lahey invited BNews for a behind-the-scenes look at some of the labs and research going on right here in Burlington. Let's have a look.
Lahey Hospital and Medical Center is much more than an inpatient, outpatient medical facility. Medical research is a critical component of what Beth Israel Lahey Health has to offer.
So at Lahey, we have three different types of research. The first one is clinical trials, in which we're looking at different treatments or different devices or behavioral differences in patients. And then the second is translational research, which is what they call bench to bedside research, in which we start with a clinical question, we look at things in the lab, and then we hope to bring that back to patients in an intervention or a biomarker, a way to be able to detect something. And then third is our outcomes research, in which we have the Comparative Effectiveness Research Institute. So what we're doing is really looking at different outcomes for similar treatments. We do a lot of clinical trials for oncology, which is great. Patients don't have to go downtown to get those types of treatment. And really for oncology patients, sometimes that's their last hope, to have that type of research for them and a trial and intervention that they may not otherwise have. We received a $4 million grant from the Massachusetts Life Center. And with that, we are making image-guided therapy center. And part of that is this team makes molds of people's brains and skulls, and they can put in aneurysms in there. And then what we do is we use those 3D molds, and we can use different instrumentation to see if we can find different ways and different types of instruments to actually go in and retrieve the aneurysm and help with the healing of that. And again, that's translational research, right? Here's the question about the aneurysm, and then we bring it to the lab and we work on it in the lab with the hope that we can then, when we have new instrumentation or new ideas of how to get somewhere that we couldn't normally get to, and then we can bring that as a clinical trial to patients. What we want patients to know is that Many of the interventions and the drugs and all of the devices and treatments actually started with research, and that's occurring here at Lahey. And some of it is, just not necessarily looking at a treatment or biomarkers, but actually looking at data and quality of life and asking patients, how did you feel after this? So that we can really look and see, did treatment A or B, is that better for patients? And more specifically with precision medicine, is it better for you as a patient as opposed to someone else? Research at Lahey is growing, and one of the areas that we are moving towards is what's called a learning health system. And what we want is engagement from patients in that. So we want to know from the patients, what do you want us to be looking at? But the idea is really to bring all of that back to make treatment and outcomes better for patients.
From Lahey Hospital and Medical Center, I'm BNEWS reporter Tad Stefanak.
Spring has certainly sprung, so let's have a look at your weather with BNews meteorologist Peter Brown, followed by the community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with your weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading through the middle of April. Our weather hasn't been exactly as warm as we really have wanted it to be lately, but at least we haven't been seeing any snow, even though some of our friends well up to the north of us saw quite a bit of snow with that heavy rain system that we saw that moved through the Burlington area the other day. Now, starting out our period on Friday, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year in the mid-60s, and we're going to be a little bit cooler than that. And as we round out the period getting in towards next Thursday, average highs again this time of the year should be in the mid and getting up to the upper 60s, and we're probably, unfortunately, going to be about 10 degrees below that. So it looks like we have a real cool period coming up for the next 7 to 10 days here. The only thing that's really going to be reminding us that we're heading into spring is those sunrises keep getting earlier and earlier, and the sunsets keep getting later and later. So let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us here in the Burlington area over the next 7 days in terms of temperatures and precipitation. And looking at our temperature map, again, nothing new, seems to be par for the course for the past few weeks here. Looks like we're expecting to see temperatures at or below average in the Burlington area, and for most of the eastern U.S. at least. If you want some of that real summertime warmth, you're going to have to head all the way down deep into the south. As we look at our precipitation chances, looks like we're going to be seeing about average precipitation, maybe slightly above. We're going to have to be seeing that depend on a large ocean storm that's going to be pretty much stationary for most of the latter portion of our period next week. We're going to have to keep an eye on that, see if it backs in towards us at all, and that could throw us some cool rain showers as we head in towards the work week. So let's go ahead and take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up here in the Burlington area again. Starting out our period on Friday, looks like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are going to be the real picks of this period coming up. Temperatures again in the low 60s on Friday and Saturday, and then our temperatures start to cool down into the 50s as we get in towards Sunday, and actually a pretty cool wind off of the ocean, and temperatures maybe struggling to get out of the mid-50s on Sunday, even with that sun out there, so a real chilly feel to the air out there. Now, as we get into the work week again, we're going to see fair skies on Monday, but then once we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're going to be seeing that large ocean storm that's going to be parked well off the coast. And again, keeping an eye on that, we're going to have to see if that throws us some showers each day, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And again, look at our temperatures. Really chilly out there with those northerly winds coming in here. Temperatures only in the low and mid 50s and way down in the low 30s at night. So unfortunately, even though spring is here, it looks like winter is really trying to hold on to us here in the Burlington area. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hi, I'm Amy Poehler, and you're watching BCAT. Go Red Devils.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. On April 26th from 3:30 to 5 p.m., the Made in Burlington store is having a Mother's Day card making class. For more information and to register, go to the following website. On April 27th from 10 to 11 a.m., the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a vernal pool exploration at the Mill Pond Reservoir. The event is free, but pre-registration is required. To register, go to burlingtonrecreation.org. On April 29th through May 1st, the Friends of the Burlington Public Library will be having the annual Spring Book Sale. For more information, go to burlingtonpubliclibrary.org.
Burlington High School's spring athletic season is underway with softball and track already showing promise. Here is BNEWS sports reporter Anthony Matos along with Robert Paris.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos and this is your weekly sports report. A couple of teams are still undefeated while two others started their inaugural seasons. Let's get to it. The Lady Devils track won their meet 86.5 to 49.5 while the boys won 101 to 35. Both teams moved to 2-0. The Lady Devils tennis team had a meet against Watertown on April 12th and finished with a 5-0 victory. On the 14th, the girls lost to Melrose at Rahanis 4-1. The Lady Devils are currently 2-4. Red Devils tennis also competed against Watertown and they did it at Victory Field. Speaking of victory, the team did that as they won by a shutout score of 5-0. On the 14th, the Devils had an away meet in Melrose and another 5-0 win. The Burlington improves to 4-2. Lady Devils Lacrosse had an away game in Andover on April 19th where the team won 14-11. The Lady Devils had another away game in Methuen on April 21st at Methuen-Nicholson Stadium where they won 14-8. They moved to 4-3 on the season. Red Devils Lacrosse were on the road this past week, first an away game in Lexington on April 14th where they lost 11-6. And then they had another one in Waltham on April 18th where they got in the win column after securing a 19-8 win. Burlington moves to 2-3 on the season. Red Devil Baseball had the home opener on April 12th against Stoneham where they won a tight match of 5-4. On the 14th, they had an away game with the Watertown Red Raiders and they won 1-0. On April 16th, they had an away game at Nahasset Regional where they fell 3-14. Burlington had an away game at Morley Field in Melrose on the 20th where the team lost 9-7. The Red Devils are 3-3 on the season. Lady Devils softball continued their hot streak in the past two games. On April 12th, they had an away game in Stoneham where they won it in a shutout fashion of 15-0. Burlington was back at Marvin Field on April 14th for a home game against Watertown where they had a blowout game of 19-6 over the Red Raiders at Marvin Field. They had another home game on April 20th against Melrose where the ladies won 12-0. Burlington moves to 6-0 on the season. Red Devil Volleyball kicked off the inaugural season in Medford on April 14th. Burlington finished the meet with a 3-1 victory over the Mustangs to begin the season 1-0. The Burlington Unified Basketball team began the inaugural season on April 13th in Stoneham where they won 57-52 and start the season 1-0. Did you sign up yet? A reminder that BHS Alumni Hockey Game is Saturday, May 7th at the Ice Palace. For details, go to bcattv.org/sports. Catch more Red Devil action on our website and check out our Twitter page at BNews Sports. That's all for this week. I'm Anthony Matos. Back to you guys in the studio.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo was submitted by Erin Dirks, who was a spectator at this year's Boston Marathon just before mile 23. She captured a photo of Adrian Hazlitt, a 41-year-old ballroom dancer who lost a leg in the 2013 bombing. She's alongside Olympic medalist and New York City Marathon champion Shalane Flanagan, who ran as her support. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of your now spring activities, a family trip, or just everyday moments, whatever you think is interesting and want to share with us and with Burlington. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org. Students and faculty of Burlington Public Schools have been off on spring break this week, so we don't have a BPS Weekly following the broadcast, but Superintendent Conti and the crew will be back next week to let you know what's going on in Burlington schools. And that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with Tad Stefanak, Robert Paris, John Vias, Peter Brown, Gretchen Carey, and Anthony Matos. Thank you for joining us.